ready for this? The New York Times, Bloomberg Business Week, The Atlantic Times, Huffington Post, U.S. News and World Report, Forbes, Fox Business.
One day, the founder and chairman of Starbucks Coffee Company, Howard Schultz, walked into one of his favorite and oldest stores in downtown Seattle. And the first thing he noticed when he opened the door was not the scent of freshly brewed coffee. It was the stench of burnt cheddar cheese. Cheese that had melted off one breakfast sandwich, landed on the oven grates, and then continued burning over and over and over again with every new sandwich that was sold and served that day. He took one of the company's most popular and profitable products, breakfast sandwiches, and he pulled them from the shelves of all 16,000 Starbucks stores around the world. Wall Street analysts thought he'd lost his mind. But as leaders yourselves, how do you think that instant burst of clarity impacted the people at Starbucks? Well, it was like a shock to the system. All of a sudden, light bulbs flashed on for employees and managers all throughout the Starbucks universe. They suddenly understood how to get back on the path to growth, how to transform themselves and their store and their department and their organization from surviving mode to thriving mode. And over the course of the next 18 months, one decision at a time, Starbucks unleashed a torrent of coffee-based innovations, which brought them back to their best year ever 4 years in a row. What I wonder right now is, what are your breakfast sandwiches?
The reality is that change is hard only in the same way that raising kids or running a marathon is hard. The fact that it requires effort does not negate the fact that most people who commit to doing it eventually succeed. So today, I want to unlock your adaptive potential so that you can stop fearing the changes happening in wholesale distribution and you can start focusing your vision on growing your business. Now, do you know the way in which we're going to do that? One decision at a time.
You ready for this? The New York Times, Bloomberg Business Week, The Atlantic Times, Huffington Post, U.S. News and World Report, Forbes, Fox Business, NPR, NBC, ABC, and CBS Television. I'm exhausted just saying it.
People love to introduce me as an expert on making decisions, which is actually pretty funny when you consider this. Now that there is an RV, my RV, and this was a colossally bad decision on a number of levels. Not the least of which because I'd never driven a motorhome before in my entire life, or because we moved into the city of Minneapolis where there's no place to park a 31.5-foot monstrosity. But the biggest reason why this was a bad decision is because it moved me in the exact opposite direction of my personal decision pulse. You see, just like every team and every organization has a decision pulse, so do we as individuals. My pulse was freedom. I care more about freedom than power, prestige, achievement, money, safety, security. All I could think about is what would spell freedom more than cruising down the old American highway with everything I own behind me on 2 axles. In the midst of all this change fatigue, how might a slightly different decision process have led me to a different decision outcome? One that transformed my fear and uncertainty in a positive way, while also saving my wife from transforming a very innocent 2-letter word like RV into a 4-letter word. Confidently and consistently, day in and day out, one decision is one decision at a time. You get to say goodbye to the good salesperson that you were and grow into the transformational leader you are destined to become. One decision at a time.